Who has claimed that Disney has sanitized Star Wars, I'm just going to point out that in the Kenobi show, Vader snapped the neck of a child after they did a flashback of him killing a bunch of kids as Anakin Skywalker, and that's coming off of Rebels where he was consistently played as nightmare fuel. Yeah, if there's one thing Disney's done right, it's making Vader scary again. We've talked before about how much I love my vintage Star Wars. However, I've never been that big a fan of the vintage Vader. I don't like the telescope lightsaber, man. I just don't. I think it looks bad. So when they announced they were doing a Vader for the Kenobi show that would have a more standard body with, 2 actual arms, I was all for it. And it helps that I like the cloth cape a lot more than I liked that weird vinyl trench coat the original Vader had. And also, I think the head sculpt's better, but that could all just be me. And hey, it is Halloween, so if anything I just said made you mad because you are an OG vintage Kenner Star Wars fan, I guess I'm just preying on your fears. From the latest wave of the Star Wars retro line that was focused entirely on the Disney Plus Kenobi show, this is Darth Vader, in only his second ever Kenner-style Star Wars figure. Yeah, kind of weird to think that the main character of the entire franchise, arguably, has only ever gotten 2 figures in this style. The original one in '78, and then this guy. Kind of cool. If you're unaware of what Star Wars Retro is, basically, they're taking a lot of new takes on the original Kenner figures. Sometimes they do entire waves that are just straight re-releases, but then they've also done a few waves for Kenobi and the Mandalorian show, which is new characters, new molds, new designs, and I'm all for those. Quite frankly, I'm really hoping we get a Clone Wars wave some point. I would love a Captain Rex in this style to go with my Mandalorian Ahsoka, but in the time being, they're still delivering some Star Wars figures that I absolutely love. Taking a closer look, and this more so than a lot of retro Star Wars figures that Hasbro's done, really feels like it could have been done by Kenner. Like, my one complaint is the cape is just a bit too big. I don't like how it could basically be a hood, but it's better than the original Kenner cape, I will say that much. But then when you look at just the standard body design, how simple it is, and yet the details they did capture, like his leather in the arms, the chest compartment, even his red eyes, that all feels like stuff Kenner would have prioritized. So this figure really works well. Adding to that is his one accessory, which is just the Kenner lightsaber but in red. The first time we have ever gotten this mold in this color, believe it or not. The Kenobi show has given me some of my favorite Vader content ever, and that's coming after years of a great comic run and multiple good appearances in cartoons and games. This figure is a win for me.